Good morning, crypto family. How you guys doing this morning? As you guys see, the prices are retracing down. We're at 3016, and if you guys see this, the candles right here, these markers right here are the resistance levels. Like what I told you. So when you guys were looking at that little pump that we had a resistance level at 3813. Now we have a resistance level down to 2487. We're going to retrace all the way back down again. Now I want you guys to pay attention. So what I am doing, like I'm gonna give you guys an example. I'll have $200. Once we retrace down to 2487, I'll spend $50. Spend $50, take me some Dogelon. Once we go down to 20, like say 1999, I'll spend another $50. Accumulate that. Because honestly, our lows, what we're looking at adding another zero at 743. And I'm gonna put the whole thing in there. The whole 100 in there. That's going to be our lows. Another zero, six zeros, 743. We are going to drop. And I'm going to accumulate at those prices there. So I want you guys to pay attention. Now, even with Bitcoin, you guys see this here. You guys see how it's going up 70K. But these are the breakout lines. But if you look down here, these are the resistance levels. We couldn't pass 22,000. We stayed at 21,953. And we're at where we at 1907. We're going to retrace all the way back down, fam. 17,645. We're steady going downward. So pay attention. Everything moves behind Bitcoin. Now, I want you guys to know Pax Gold. That's another asset to get into. Yeah, you cannot buy the whole token. I understand that. But this is something else. It's a tokenized gold token. So whereas they have this backed by gold in other countries. So this is what they're holding right here, family. So if you guys see, it's at 1815. The all-time high was around $2,000. But if this goes below $1,000, family, I'm grabbing some tokens of PAX G. PAX G, family. So before I even let y'all go, you guys have to hear this important message of what's going on.
Crazy thing about it, when you were at 65,000, what did we hear, right? We heard the influencers, the talking heads, everyone was, oh, it's going
Yeah,
100,000 by the end of
absolutely.
November 2021, then 250, then 500, and it was ridiculous in that side. And now you're starting to hear the opposite. Everyone's saying, oh, it's a scam, it's going to go to zero. Those are actually contrarian views that as an investor you need to separate from your own emotion. Meaning the more I hear that, the more I believe that we are getting closer to a bottom. And basically, it just comes back to common sense. Just use your logic, right? Logic is the most powerful thing in investing, but so many people get caught up in emotion instead to make their decisions. But if you think about how eventually we're going to slide back into a big recession, the Fed eventually is going to have to print more money. Central banks have already printed tons of money. There's a general need from a people's perspective all over the globe for this alternate to fiat currencies that cannot be printed willy-nilly. I mean, all of these factors make us need some sort of digital currency. Now you could say, well, gold could fill that role. I agree it does, but try, sending gold over countries, right? I mean, you can't pick up a bag of gold and just walk to the airplane and carry it easily. The key to crypto is how easily it can be transferred from country to country, how quickly, and how, again, it doesn't have that endless printing ability like fiat currency. So I'm in the camp that this is now the beginning of the end of the drop. Yes, it's going to get uglier. Yes, it's going to get harder for a lot of investors, but I do think below 20,000 gets us very close to that bottom, maybe around 12, maybe sub 12. But in the scheme of things, when you're talking about a move from 65,000 down, we're kind of at the tail end, right? We've already come down 40, 45, 50,000. Now we just have to do maybe another 10 or 5.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Gareth. This is what a lot of folks want to hear. Because long term, over time, you are bullish Bitcoin. You feel like it is going to, reach 65,000 and above. But it's not going to happen overnight, right? So let's talk about your time frame there and where you could see it headed.
Yeah, so time frame wise, I'm looking at, so in past cycles, and all we do as technical traders is look at past cycles. That's all we have to go by. It usually takes about 12 months for a Bitcoin to bottom out. So that means that puts us kind of later this year, November-ish, for when a bottom could be in. And then there's usually a 6-month period of just ups and downs, kind of making people, bulls think they're going to win, then they get smoked, and then bears think it's going to go lower, and then they're wrong as well. So that choppy 6-month period. So what I would say is by late 2023, so unfortunately, you still have at least another year of this, probably mid to late 2023. I think that's when the next move up can take place. And I also coincide that with my macro view that by that period, inflation will have come down to 4 or 5%, but the economy will be really suffering. And it's likely the Fed will then turn on the spigots again and start stimulating to try to get unemployment, which at that point has probably spiked to 7 to 10%. They'll start to get that down by printing money and stimulating. So watch for the Fed to start to do that. I think that's going to be a key for when you finally see Bitcoin bottom and start to turn
Let me
around.
ask you this, Gary.